Okay, for that first one up there, as you look at that, Christian, did you look at the first one? Have you done that?
Yeah.
All right, is it yes or is it no? Is x equal 3 a solution?
Yes.
All right, it says yes. All right, now let's take a look and make sure. It says yes. All right, well, I said to plug it in. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 5 is 17. 17 is less than or equal to 20. That's true. Negative 2 times 3 is what? That is negative 6 plus 5 is, what's negative 6 plus 5? Negative what? 1? Is negative 1 greater than negative 3? Negative 1, it is bigger than negative 3. Okay, remember, it's to the right of it. So if it says the word and, it must work for both of them to be a solution. Okay, it must work for both of them to be a solution. Got it? Now, if I solve this, I'm just kind of, well, no, I don't want to mess with that because it deals with fractions. I'd plug it in. Plug it in. All right, London. How about number 2? Do you think that's a solution? Were you able to answer that? Yes or no?
No.
She says no. All right, let's take a look at it. Plug in the number 3. 5 times 3 is 15. And then 3 plus 8 is what? That is 11. Is 15 greater than 11?
Yes.
Okay, we say yes. Negative 3 plus 6. What's negative 3 plus 6? It is 3. 3 is 3 less than 0? No. All right, now evaluate though. It says the word or. So does it work for one or the other? Does it work for one of them? Yeah, it works for one of them. So what does that mean? It means it is a solution. Okay, so this case here, even though it didn't work for both, and this is confusing the first time you see it, even though it didn't work for both, it's still a solution because it just says or. It has to work for one of them or the other. Okay? With this. Why are you here? All right. So that's the big difference. For and, if it says the word and, it has to work for both of them. So if I change this to the word and, you would say, no, it's not a solution. Okay, but since it says it's the word or, it just has to work for one of them. Okay? So know that difference. Know the difference between and or. All right, for homework. Okay, I looked at most of you. Good job on those. We went through this. Any specific questions you have off the bat? Like just didn't quite understand. Let me do one here of each. Hold on.
So one that I have a question.
Yeah, what do you have a question on?
Number 20.
20. All right, I'm going to get to that one because I think a lot of other people have that question. Let me just do a couple things here. All right, Allie, you weren't here, so I'm just going to go through one or two things just for you and also pay attention. For 17, we want to get that n by itself, so make sure you add 5 to everything. And that gives me 6 is less than or equal to 2n is less than or equal to 12. Divide by 2. Divide by 2, and I get 3 is less than or equal to n is less than or equal to 6. All right, now, those of you who didn't graph, you got to pay attention because you got a graph on your quiz or test tomorrow, Thursday. What's that look like? 3 is less than or equal to n is less than or equal to 6. Christian?
Three is less than, wait.
What kind of dots do I put at 3 and 6?
Solids.
Solid dots at 3 and 6. And then what do I do in between those dots?
Draw a line.
Yep, that's where it's shaded. So basically I'm saying every number between 3 and 6 is an answer. So I plug in the number 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. Is 3 bigger than 1 and less than 7? Yes. No other numbers will work. Okay, no other numbers will work. So that's how you want to do those, which look pretty good when I saw those on your papers. Now, Allie, that's with the and. If it has the word or, we just do those separate. Add 4. That gets x is less than -3. Or subtract 3. X is greater than 1. If you look at that answer on a number line, less than -3, open circle on -3 to the left, greater than 1, open circle to the right. Okay, so if it has a word or, it's usually going opposite directions. Okay, usually going opposite directions. All right, here's kind of the answer key. Take a look at what you got. See if it matches up as we go through here. So take a look at 17, 18, and 19. Okay, and then if you didn't have any graphs, put it is a full graph now for this. Okay, so you have those. And they always, now take a look at how these would look, because for 24 through 28, you're going to have to write down something similar for those. 20 and 21. Okay. This is where we did the 20 for -3 and then x is greater than 1. 21, x is less than 0 or x is greater than 3, going in opposite directions. 22. X plus 1 is less than 2, so we get x is less than 1 or x is greater than 3. All right, double, triple check 24, 25, 26, and 27. Double and triple check those right now. Okay, make sure you have them written in that right form. Okay, because I think 26 and 27 tend to be the hardest, or I see the most mistakes. Because I believe it looks like this. Here's -6 to 5, closed dot. If it's shaded in between two numbers, you want them both less than. You want them both less than. And for 27, same thing. If it's shaded in between two numbers, you want them both less than. All right, and then 27 is in between there. All right. 28, that was a confusing one. Sometimes it helps to try it, make a mistake, fix it. It says a typical acoustic guitar has a range of 3 octaves. Who's my music people in here? I know Evan's in the band, so he's a music guy. All right, you know what octaves are? Yeah, I got no idea. When the guitar is turned to concert pitch, the range of frequencies for those 3 octaves is between 82.4 hertz and 659.2 hertz inclusive. Basically, they're just saying that they fall in between those 2 values. It's got to be in between 82.4, it's got to be between 659.2. Write a compound inequality to show the frequencies are within the range. So this would be your compound inequality right here. Okay, the frequencies have to be between 82.4 and 659.2. So it's basically like doing 26 and 27. Now, when you go to graph this, you do not need to go by ones. If you go by ones, it's going to be a very, very long graph. So basically, you can just go, since they're pretty spread apart, just 82.4 and 659.2 would be fine. Okay. You could also write this as the word and. You could say the frequencies have to be greater than or equal to 82.4, and the frequencies have to be less than or equal to 659.2. You could do that as well. That is fine. Okay, but you have to use the word and. Okay, and then if you write it as 2, just be careful. You can write it as 1 where you put the variable, the F in the middle. Okay, that would also be correct. So you may have either one. All right, Christian.
For for the bottom one, you said like F is greater than or equal to 82. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I put 82.4 is greater than or equal to X. Or
No.
F. And then it's reversed.
You did that, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, really, what's that telling you about? Read it the other direction. It has to make sense both directions. You're saying 82.4 is bigger than F, but if I go this direction, you're saying F is less than 82.4, right? It cannot be less than it. Okay, so if you write the 82.4 first, you have to flip that and make it like this. Okay, and sometimes to me it's easier to write the F first. Because if you look at how I wrote it here, the F, it's pointing to the 82.4. That has to be consistent, okay, for that. And that's a hard one to begin with. All right, we are done with all the new material. We're going to take a little bit of time to make sure, help sink this in. All right, you're going to do this right now. Let's take 10 minutes. This is classwork right here. This is classwork. Okay, just put it in your notes. Put it, that's fine. Page 82. All right, get out your, I'll show you what you
Jade is not going to be on tomorrow. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
This came out and this
What's it?
Been out the whole time. No, he was in jail. I know, but you can't. Down. Right there. Right there.
Okay, now that we're gonna by chapter. So we're chapter 3. All right, now they're also by section, but then like some at the end. So this is page 211. Let's see what I have. Okay, 211. Guess we're ready to go on. Chapter 3.
Say what? Alright, let's say one. Dude, this head talk, bro. Oh my
Yes. Okay, number 3.
Chapter 3.
Hey, now the first one says solve and graph. The next one just says solve. If it just says solve, you do not need to graph it. Okay? Yeah.
Greg's having trouble on the textbook. There's nothing in the folder for chapter 3.
Okay, go there. Well, hold on. I just did this.
Yeah.
Jeanette.
Sometimes I get mislabeled. That's it.
Not such a graph.
First one is
Is it track one? It's good. And then bring down the
Yeah, it's just graph.
subtract positive and then negative, right?
Alright,
what in the heck?
What am I divided by? And then divided by a negative number.
No, it's just,
Yeah, it says,
yeah.
Randomly, my phone feels like cool.
One,
Here. Since I divided by a negative number.
check it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I found that wrong. It's okay. It's probably no solutions.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Alright, first of all, that negative comes down. Was that three? Okay. Now, that gives you P, right? And negative three divided by three is negative one. Now you gotta write the P first. You gotta write the P first. Alright, here's the thing. You're gonna have to either save more room or don't, just right, because you have no idea how much room you get.
So,
Alright, we gotta get the R by itself. So what do I still need to do? So move the one to the other side, you add or subtract it. Well, that one is actually a positive one, so in front of it, there's no sign. That minus is what we said. You go to the opposite, you want to subtract one. And subtract from the 7. Okay, put the line underneath.
I have 4.
7 minus 1, you got your calculator, there it is. 6. Okay, keep the sign the same. Okay, make sure you write all your final answers with the R first, or the X first, or the T first. Okay, you just flip anything around and put the variable first. Okay, now that negative's in front of there. So make it -6. Okay, now divide both sides by -6. Okay, now, since I divide by a negative, that sign has to flip the other way. Okay, and then that's gonna be an R. Now, I told you right, the R first, so you guys take that, and then go ahead and put an R there. Now, what would this be equivalent to if the R is first? Whatever it's pointing to, it has to be pointing to again, so it's pointing towards the -1, right? So it has to be pointing to, when you put the -1 over there, it has to be pointing towards the -1. Is that pointing towards the -1? Oh, wait a minute. The arrow? I disagree. Looks to me like it's pointing towards the R.
The struggle.
Flip that around. Okay, now what would that graph be? Well, how do you read that? What does that say? Any ideas? R is greater than, okay, that's or equal to. So, you know, put down like -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, put it down there. All done, Colin? Okay, so now, what type of dot goes in -1? Solid or solid? And when you have the equal to part, it's always solid.
Which one was it? 19?
Now, which numbers are bigger than -1? To the right or to the left?
Well, did you get -32 plus
To the right. Draw the arrow to the right.
Yes.
It would be,
Down
yeah,
there.
I swear to God.
And then you gotta put a little
I still
arrow.
got right in
Never mind, it's right.
Okay.
No, that's
there. Wow.
And make
For
sure.
this one, just repeat that 5. Repeat 5 and multiply by both. I'll be back here in a minute.
You didn't put the,
Here, down here. If we lose, there you go. We have to break it down. 15 is less than -3 is my answer. Is that true statement? Well, that's what we're right.
exactly.
Huh?
Do what now?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but
Okay, again, we wanna get that m by itself, so you gotta move it 35, you want to stay opposite, so if it's -35, what do you do there? Well, not how far
bye
is-
bye negative.
You're done?
I hear it. And then I'll get a video now.
Okay, now divide by 5.
So I wanna rewrite these.
Austin, what number are you on there?
What
What number are you on?
One at the P, one at the B.
19? Okay.
That way.
Hello.
Kinda.
Spanish is so easy.
Oh, you would think.
Okay, now you gotta rewrite it with the M first.
No, you want to.
It's gotta point the same way.
Yeah, we have
Okay, then you gotta graph
It's
that.
similar,
So everything's good there.
Alright. 5 times 3.
Some words are with
Oh.
So you gotta watch that.
Yeah, It's so many accents or anything.
Saturday, 16. Wednesday, so I was thinking.
They discriminate.
Right, what's the difference? You guys are going out.
Do you understand this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which have to share. So I'll send this back. So I'll look at the 2000 first. Cause you had 2 courts. Alright, Preston, how far are you? Done? Okay, good deal. Morgan, how far are you? You're on the last one? Okay, let's go over these. I know some of you are not quite done, but just take a second here as we kind of go through some of these answers. Check your work. and then we'll do, all right, now first of all, just check your answer. Make sure, now I don't have the graph with each one at this point, but make sure your variable occurs first and it matches up. So you got R is greater than or equal to -1. And then I got M is greater than 10. 14, I got P is less than -1. And for 17, I got G is less than or equal to 4. Okay? 18. That means no solution. That is one of those cases where the variables drop out. You did not get a true statement. And then 19. Okay, I got H is greater than -3. H is greater than -3. And then what was the last one? 23. What'd you get for 23, Connor?
For 23, I only got 19.
Oh, who got 20? Hanan, what'd you get?
I don't know what it's like. I just put yes.
You just put yes? Is it just a yes or no for 23? Oh, we got.
Are
we
you
got
tired
one
of inequalities?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, Sam, what'd you get for 23?
I got S is greater than or equal to 4.25.
Okay, did anybody get a different answer? What'd you get, Preston?
I got all the numbers.
He got all real numbers.
So technically.
Okay.
I was wrong.
You got all real numbers, Evan? All right, we got no solution. Well, let's see what we got. We got all real numbers. All real numbers. All right, let's take a look at 23 real quick. Hold on, what's the actual equation for the inequality?
16 parentheses S minus 2 parentheses less than or equal to 4 parentheses 4S minus 5.
Okay. All right, so you got this. Distribute the 16. We get 16S minus 32. Distribute the 4, and I get 16S minus 20. Now, I always stress it just leads to fewer mistakes. Move the variable first. Yes?
I know what I did wrong. I put, instead of the S, I thought the S was the number 5.
Oh, that'll change things. Subtract, yeah, S is not a great variable, but it's the variable they picked. But when I subtract 16S, I get -32 is less than or equal to -20. Remember, negative's a little bit different there. So -32 is less than -20. Like -32 degrees is colder than -20. I don't like either of those degrees, but it is. So it gives you all real numbers. Okay, it gives you all real numbers. Okay. And that's what we just went through here. All right, for what we got here, classwork / homework. We're going to do the practice test. Show all work and answers on a separate sheet. We're going to just do 1 through 14 today. Okay, 1 through 14 today. So start this, which is just the front. There is a back, and we'll get to the back tomorrow. Let's do I actually want to do number 1 because that tends to throw people off. So we'll research, get that one done together, and maybe number 2. Yeah, let's do at least the first 2. Did you get one? Did I get Austin one? All right, so these 2 over here. Okay, this will just be a 10-point assignment. Let's do number 1 together. Anybody else need one? You know how to do this one, but it's just presented in a little bit different manner, so sometimes it throws people off. It says, describe the solution of 9 plus p is greater than 3 in words. So you gotta write a sentence, but you really wanna solve it first. What do I do to get p by itself? I would actually subtract what? 9. Subtract 9. So you're just really telling me what is there. So we're just making sure that you understand what that says. Okay. Well, what does that say? Okay, Amanda, what's that say?
P is greater than -6.
Okay, so how would you describe the solution in words? It would be all the numbers that are what? Greater than -6. You just need to write it down. You can use the word more than, but basically, all the numbers that are greater than -6. So
If
we're just
putting it on the practice test, we're probably gonna put it on the real test.
oh yeah, this is like basically problem for problem. I think there's 23 problems in the real test. There's 23 on this. So you know you're gonna see basically one of every type. So we know, and plus we still got tomorrow to go over this as well. Test is until Thursday for that one. All right, now how about number 2? How about number 2? Sam earned $340 during winter vacation. He saved $125 for a camping trip over spring break. He can spend the remainder of the money on music. Write an inequality to show how much he can spend on music, then graph the inequality. Okay, he has $340 to work with. He's using $125 for the camping trip. So the money he pays on music plus what is already reserved for the camping trip has to be either less than or equal to or greater than or equal to the amount he has. What inequality should I put in there? Should I put less than or equal to or greater than or equal to? Evan? Less than or equal to. Okay. So he cannot spend more than $340 because that's all he got. Now he doesn't say anything about his Visa card, which we'll use when we need it. But so start with that. So now solve it by subtracting 125. And I get M is less than or equal to, what is it, 215?
Yeah.
215. All right, to graph that. Okay, it does ask us to graph it. I would just start at 215. And you can go up by 5s or you can go up by 10. It really, not a big deal either way, as long as you put them in the right order. Less than or equal to, solid dot to the left. Solid dot to the left. Okay. If it doesn't say graph, you don't have to graph it. Number 9 and number 10, they have the graphs there for you. You can put those on this sheet, that's fine. Okay, the ones with the graphs there for you, you can use it. You can write the graph on this sheet. Got it? What do you need to complete for tomorrow? 1 through what? 14. 1 through 14. Okay.